This is why the GT4 cars are the best cars in iRacing. Let's get right into this. This is going to be one of the best videos I've made, one of the most entertaining. I am not going to waste any more time. Let's get right into it with some replays of it. First I have to load them. And here we are, starting our formation lap. And for this race, it's about to get very interesting. I'm going to break down this race very, very clearly, and to make sure you guys fully understand my thought process when coming into races such as this one. Now, this is only my first month into iRacing, and I'm already competing at a very high level, so I'm going to give you a fresh perspective that maybe veterans can't really give you most of the time. And if you are wondering, I am driving along in this beautiful GT4 Porsche, and it is in the Rexy livery because of, well, IMSA, and that Rexy just won his first ever race. So congrats to the Porsche team in the GT3 race, and I've raced in your car, so let's hope we get very, very similar outcome here as I review this race. Now, the average SOF of a field like this, generally speaking, was around 1,350, but for this race, I believe it was 1,400, as it was a later race in the day. For the start of this race, I will be hopping back into this far chase view because we do get a very, very interesting start here, and this is what makes GT4 cars so interesting, but also maybe why you might want to stay away from them. Now rounding the second to last corner, and the pace car will dive right into the pits, into the first corner. Now, generally speaking, the cars and the leaders go right off, so we jump away, realize the wheels have not gone off, late start, but then they smash on the brakes again. I am up on the inside, and oh, the car hits me, and there's a huge wreck. Absolutely huge wreck, full car pileup. Not a lot of damage because the GT4s can't take a bit of damage, but absolute carnage has just happened at Laguna Seca. And then we are in a part of a circuit where we are unable to currently right now fully do a 180-degree turn, just off spinning the tires, so we will have to do a bit of three-point turning, but we're nonetheless on the way. No yellow flags somehow, but we'll be just fine as we leave behind the carnage. Now look ahead, there are some cars pulling out of the pit lane, smash into this cone, but the main thing right now is that we gotta focus up. There's a car leaving in the pit lane behind us, and as you can see, absolute carnage left behind us. We have started this race in P5, and now we have to make our way all the way back on hot tires, and we have a big gap to make up. But this is what makes GT4 cars so amazing, is that you are not able to basically hide your mistakes, as obviously this car has some good wheel damage. Now, there is wheel damage, but there's not any kinetic damage. But as I said before, there is not really a big chance for you to hide your mistakes, and every mistake is exemplified. So if you're like me, some good technique can really go a far way in helping you and basically making sure you're back in this race. As you can see, we are soon catching up to our first competitive race. This is lap traffic, but I gotta make short work of these guys if I do want to get back my position. As we go ahead, let's go ahead and ride on board with the next couple of drivers. They are battling it out, almost oblivious to what I am doing. Now, in GT4, I believe you have 5 or 4 car options, but in this race there's 4. We have the Mercedes, the Aston Martin, the BMW, and obviously the Porsche. As you can see, we are slowly making our way up through the field, and I am slowly coming into these guys' ears. At this point in the race, I am firmly in the sights of the driver ahead, but not enough for him to make him concerned. I can see a mistake, but the car ahead will come out ahead, but he does come out in a pretty weird spot, and does kind of block me off, but it's fine. He still has a bit of a run, and I have not lost any incident points. It is a bit of a checkup, but in GT4 races, especially in early C class, it does kind of racing like that. Corkscrew became a bit of a challenge. That's what happens when you have a bit overheated tires, but we do get the turn done. And now it's our goal to now go ahead and catch up to this driver. At this point in the race, my kind of hope is he's going to go ahead and make another mistake like this one, and I'll have another opportunity or a run on him to make another overtake. Now as we come into this tricky section, the cars up ahead are battling it out, and you can see the Mercedes actually went out wide and almost clips me back on the side, but we managed to just avoid him. And we are now firmly in the lead of this number 8 up ahead. And another Mercedes goes out as we now drive on board with the BMW, as I am going to look up on the inside and make a clean double overtake on both of the cars. Wow, what an overtake. That was an incredible move. I forgot completely how I did it, but I believe I just had a better run, and because the cars were so far off wide because of that Mercedes, it worked out in my favor. But now we have a good old McLaren right ahead of me. Now these cars are generally speaking faster for goodness sake than any of the cars here, but as you can see, this still does not come over technique, as technique is still king in the GT4s. Now once again, let's ride on board with this guy and see what he sees. He will soon see that he sent it deep as he sees that I'm on the inside of him, and we make, once again, another overtake stick. Now here's the problem we are facing right now. We have a fast car right behind us. At the same time, I want to keep on catching up. I've only made so many positions up, but I still want to make positions. So I'm going to go into something called offensive defense, where I'm going to go ahead and play offense and defense at the same time. If you think this way, I can guarantee you that not only will you be doing some of the best defense you'll ever have done, but at the same time, you'll be pulling off some of the best offense also. And you can see this strategy works perfectly, as now we have lost the McLaren behind us as we come into the corkscrew. Coming into cockpit view, I am now firmly locked into the car ahead of me, as we do struggle through these grippy corners, as we once again are still struggling with those overheated tires, but we are starting to slowly cool them off. Now that we are in 9th position and made back a solid gap, back from started 5th, back into 28th, and now right back into 14th position, actually not 9th, that was my apologies, but now back into 14th, we'll start looking to make some quick overtakes. The problem with quick overtakes is that generally speaking, they are a bit more riskier. So my goal right now is to close this gap as close as I can to the car up ahead, so that I am able to make smoother overtakes, and ones that can be very, very quick and efficient. And right now, as you can see, we are very, very close behind to this BMW, almost in attack range. And there's another BMW that goes off, more positions for us. Thank you, I'll take another. And as we're up into 13th, bit of a misshift there, as you can hear, but nothing we cannot deal with. Coming on the front straight, we are once again closing the gap. Coming up into 13th position, late braking, sending it deep, as we try to close the gap even further down to the car up ahead. Here's a nice overview of exactly how much this late break and how this offense-defense strategy works. And you can see the opponent in front of me actually is playing full defense, while I am playing offense-defense. I am not leaving anything vulnerable to me behind, or in general leaving anything vulnerable. but in the meanwhile, the opponent is fully trying to block me off, causing him to make a couple more mistakes. Now let's ride along with him as he tries to make my defense. As he's going to go ahead and hit the gravel. It's just friendly racing, no incident points, no harm done, and we get the clean overtake done. That's how overtakes should be done. Nice and easy, and no problem there. Now, in this point in the race, it is very late. Tire degradation has gone off, and we will start catching up to faster and faster cars. So we will have to start changing up our strategy soon. But so far in this race, it has been very, very clean, and we're up into 12th position. So we have currently made up over 14 positions from the end of lap 1. Now I must mention, the huge thing here right now for me is to not make any mistakes. Mistakes are gonna kill you right now. As I am right now, I have a lot of consistency under my belt, and those little mistakes, just like that one, can hurt me a lot. Now we are coming up to a bit more lap traffic. This traffic is a bit more condensed, and we are slowly catching up to it. Now the big thing for here is keeping fast consistency, so being consistent while being fast. Very self-explanatory, probably not doing much detail, but that's kind of the mindset that we have. As the American ahead of us right now sends it super deep, trying to attack, he's going to start sacrificing his own line, therefore allowing us to make an attack. Let's ride on board with the Merc ahead as he tries to make this move on the Aston Martin. Now the Mercedes does have, generally speaking, need a bit more, let's just say, finesse to the car, as it does have more mechanical downforce and less actual aerodynamic downforce. So we'll require a bit more finesse. As the Porsche right ahead, the number 5 Porsche, does go ahead and brake, and that will make a bit of trouble for us behind. But we are right away, right on the butt of this guy, and let's ride on board as we make this overtake be done. Clean and simple. I think he lets us through. Good job recognizing a fight we're not ready to take. That number 5 did kind of mess him up, but it is racing after all, and this is the GT4. Technique is everything. It's not just about the car. That's what makes the GT4 so special. Now, as you can see by this tire kit, we are starting to have a lot of understeer in this car. So we're gonna have to start doing more tire conserving to be able to have somewhat grip left at the end of this race. And once again, that offense-defense strategy worked off perfectly, as now we are fending off the Mercedes. Now I'm ready to cockpit food. I plan to take over this Aston Martin very, very shortly, but let's see how it goes. As we come into closer, I plan to make it on the straight, but let's see cockpit food and see exactly what I saw. Now he goes, runs a bit wide, and I try to go send it back out fly, but he squeezes me off. Great defending. As we have a great battle. I do look up on the inside, but nothing can be done out there. This is just great racing. I send it up on the inside. Places made a bit of contact, and he stops. There's no reason for him to stop. It was a clean overtake, a bit of contact, and it's coming back from. So I don't believe why he was able to stop. White flag's out, and we're in 10th position. We are almost back in the points if you're a Formula 1 fan. But this is not Formula 1, this is iRacing. Now, we do not have enough time to go ahead and make another overtake. So right now, this whole race is about staying alive and not making any more mistakes. And I must mention, in all these GT4 classes, I have some great technique being used. Overall, great track usage, great braking. Overall, I just have the best racing in this GT4 class. Yes, well, it can be chaotic and very fun. You won't see anything crazy. And I believe this number 7 that was right ahead of me was lap traffic until you let me through. No chaos done. You generally see some very, very nice driving in a GT4 class. As that wraps up our race, as there is a bit of contact ahead of us, but nothing we can do. That'll be all for today. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. And until next time, Smart Formula, let me know what you guys want to watch.